And they have this whole thing about how the kid wants to get away from society. I'm going to get away from society. It's a bad word. Society. Okay. Society is the reason we are all alive. Okay? The wilderness is not easy and fun and safe. I don't care what that fruity English dude shows you on Discovery Channel, where he says, oh yes, I'm here in the wilderness, all alone. No, you're not. I see the camera moving. There's a cameraman following you, and probably a mobile Starbucks behind him. The wilderness is brutal. The whole reason we have society is so we wouldn't have to live in a wilderness. And that's the problem. When you get up there, you will be at the wilderness's mercy. All right, for you history majors, you have your work cut out for you. Afterwards, I give you all a task. You have to educate everyone here about, see, he can't handle it. I'm giving up. That's it. I'm gone. Enjoy your cabin. History majors, you have to school them about a time in world history called the 19th century. All right? The 19th century was filled with dead white guys who went to go explore places. And what they did, they had this wonderful thing, because they were usually from Europe, and they knew what was what. And so they went to the very harsh places, jungle, wilderness, whatever, and they all died. Because they tried to do it their way. And they actually saw people living in these harsh climates, and they felt sorry for them, and they marched on, and then they all got malaria or frostbite and had to eat their own toes. This is the problem. When you are going to a place, it is going to be one of the most inhospitable places in the world. You have to go. You have to get away from the people, because the people are going to turn into zombies. All right? So the first thing you need to do, when you're thinking about your zombie escape plan, look at a map of the world, find America on it, and if you can, you're ahead of the national statistic. And then someone went, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't make this up. What's your name?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Heather.
All right, now Heather, listen. First thing you have to do, Heather, look at where the people are. All right, Heather? Because the people tend to congregate and build cities in places where it's good living. There's good land, there's good water, there's good weather. All right, so you look at those places, and then you look at the place you would never want to go.
Detroit?
Detroit. I'm from LA. What's Detroit got on me?
I've actually never been there.
You want to go someplace far, okay? Places that with words that you can't even pronounce, like Svalbard. All right? Places that are either brutally cold or brutally hot, brutally dry, or jungle. And that's where you have to go. And you have to make friends with the locals. You don't want to be a 19th century explorer. All right? If you're, oh, sir, how do you live? And please, for God's sake, be culturally sensitive. All right? They're not called Eskimos. They're called Inuit. And don't go to the wilds of northern Canada and find a guy who looks remotely Inuit and say, how do you survive here? And he'll be like, in my condo in Toronto. You will have to learn how to survive, because that environment's going to kill you a hell of a lot faster than the living dead. So learn it. And don't cram for it, all right? Go there before. Take a vacation. Heather, to Svalbard next summer. Go there, figure, okay, where would I live? What kind of lichens would I eat? Okay, how would I survive? Because then when Z-Day happens, you're ready. You know what to do. So that's your zombie escape plan. Now there's something else that the dude did when he went into the wild, and he did the worst thing you could possibly do. He went alone. All right? And I know in this country that's sort of sacrilege, because we have sort of the cult of the individualist. We sort of believe like we can do anything by ourselves. But Rambo, that's our hero. He's a big dude, and he's buff, and he's got a big machine gun, and no shirt, and he can just mow down people and survive anything, and if he gets cut, he'll sew it up. Great. Wait till Rambo feels a lump on his nard. Then watch him try to cut that out. Then Rambo can't survive. He needs Dr. Schwartzman, who may not be good with an M60, but he's a great oncologist. And that's called society. People with different skills and different specialties getting together to trade those skills to keep everyone else alive. And that's exactly what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to find your zombie group. All right, you don't have to do it right now. It has to be slow and easy, and you have to vet these people. And that is why the Zombie Survival Guide is in the humor section. All right? Because the one thing you cannot do when you leave here tonight is run back to your dorm and your friends and go, oh my God, this guy, Max Brooks, zombie, we have to arm ourselves. Right now. That's not going to get you very far. No, you have to play it cool. Get the book. It's in the humor section. Put it down. Friend comes in and goes, what's that? Zombie Survival Guide. Yeah, I went to see this guy, Max Brooks. He's funny. I mean, he's not that funny, you know. But he had this thing about zombies. And your friend will go, oh, really? That's stupid. Yeah, we'll never get laid. Yeah. Yeah, it was like, what would you do? Like, all the details. Yeah. What would you do? And that's how it starts. Slowly, easily, copious amounts of alcohol. You sort of ease them in. So you have to figure out what usable skills do they have. Okay, now I understand that with you guys, a lot of art majors, that's great. You can all paint a picture of each other dying. You need somebody with skills, okay? So that's the first thing. Then you need to figure out, do I want to live with these people during the apocalypse? I've always said, if you can't survive a road trip to Vegas, you can't survive Z-Day. So try that. You know, give them some psychological tests. You know, get them drunk and put on What's Love Got to Do with It. And if at some point they say, yeah, Tina was kind of asking for it, then you know. Okay? If they say things like, yeah, I mean, Mel Gibson's kind of crazy, but she did kind of deserve it. You go, what? That person you don't want, or maybe you do. And if you do, then that's your group. You're the Gibsonites. And then you can all blame Z-Day on the Jews. Oh, what, a bunch of Mel Gibson fans? Have you heard of something called the internet? So fine, there's going to be a large contingent of Gibsonites. Just be ready for them, because they'll be ready. And they'll be totally, totally wasted in honor of their icon. So this is what I mean. You have to vet these people. Are they going to live the way I want to live? Do they have the skills I need to survive? That is your group. And you're going to get out. And you're going to find someplace barren. And you're going to hunker down. And you're going to live off the land. And you're going to survive. And you're going to wait for the dust to settle. And then slowly, you're going to rebuild. And oh, by the way, this is a special PSA to the young ladies in the audience. After this lecture, there's going to be a lot of guys coming up to you going, yeah, no, I really need you in my zombie group. I think, yeah, you're really important. And you'll be like, why? And they'll be like, no, I got a good feeling about you. You know. Especially if they're freshmen. And by the way, freshman men, if you see a zombie that was once a cute girl, don't. At this point, I think it's more important to open up the room to questions and for us all to get over our social anxiety disorder. Anyone who has a first question? The first one, wow, okay, yes.
Are the zombies going to be able to swim, or am I going to be safe on a boat?
Oh, are the zombies going to be able to? That's a good point. They won't swim, but sometimes they will blow it up with gases, and they will be paddling around, not be able to go anywhere. But the moral of the story is, if you're on a boat, stay on the boat, and keep vigil, and don't be like, oh, what a beautiful day, I think I'll go take a swim. No. Anyone else? Yes, sir. Yeah, you right in the front. What was my childhood experience with zombies? I mean, why am I doing this? So what? Oh no, young man. What's your name? Dom. Dom. All right. Well, Dom, listen. Dom, I've never been in a house fire, but I have a smoke alarm. All right. Never been in a horrible, death-defying car accident, but I buckle my seatbelt. As you get older, you'll realize you don't have to come face to face with something to know that you better be prepared with it. All right, because it might happen. And my personal childhood experience was too traumatic to discuss, but I will say that it set me on a path that will one day save your life.